Tail of the tape for this one brought to you by Red Conwa. Thad Jean, still only 26 years of age. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. It makes him 3 inches taller than the 35-year-old Chris Brown. 76-inch arm reach, giving Thad Jean a 6-inch advantage there. He also has the longer legs in this fight. Thad Jean says after on the touch of the gloves. Big left hand to start things out from Chris Brown. Didn't like the refusal.
Look at this style of Chris Brown. You just don't know which limb he's throwing at you next.
Like a starfish coming at you there.
Right.
I was like, wow.
Some Bart Simpson skills.
He's crashing forward, both of them on these heavy strikes early.
They're the kind of things that are going to catch Thad off guard, though, because most of the people that Thad's training with are real technical fighters. He's not going to have someone that moves like this in front of him that's just wild and a little bit reckless at times. Look at that!
Oh, big kick. Brown off balance momentarily, springs back to his feet. Giving Thad Jean a lot to think about with these versatile attacks.
So difficult to look for counters against a guy like this, but that was a short, tight boxing combination from Chris Brown. Tries a silverback ringing around the arena.
Nice little left hook, little check hook from Thad Jean.
Jean drives a kick into the upraised guard of Chris Brown, and then a right hand.
Thad's got to be cautious of these kicks that are following the hands. They're the things that could potentially get through the guard. You slipped 1-2 punches, and a kick comes up around the side that you don't see coming, and you walk onto it. There it is again, look. Can't predict that.
Yeah, there is nothing orthodox about that.
And he does the thing which is becoming somewhat stylish in mixed martial arts. He throws the same hand and then the kick after. Left hand, left kick there.
Oh, lead crescent kick. Taekwondo shout out. See, this is the weird thing about Chris Brown, and he had the same kind of vibe against Carlos Leal. He looks kind of tired, right? He's kind of hanging back, he's taking some deep breaths, but then when he decides to go, it's like he's got a fresh gas tank.
He threw a side stance back fist there, didn't land, but just an illustration of all the things you have to worry about in the striking game from Brown.
I don't even think I'd feel safe holding pads for him. Like, he's got Winklejohn in his corner, who's trained some of the best technical strikers in the sport. I've got to wonder whether he cultivates this style in Chris Brown.
Jean with the right hand there.
Seeing some swelling on the eye of Thad Jean as well.
Nice!
Good work on the inside from both fighters. Left hook for Chris Brown, the right hand from Thad Jean.
Another lead crescent kick. Thad's trying to keep this technical. You can tell that he wants this to be a crisp kickboxing match. There's the head kick again. Great defense by Thad.
Very impressed by Thad Jean's ability to be unaffected by this unorthodox striking style. He's staying within himself, shelling up correctly. Some things are sneaking through, but nothing big yet.
That was nice. Kick to punch by Thad Jean. Right hand landed.
90 seconds left in round number 1.
A little tap back fist as well.
Good leaping left hook from Thad Jean. Chris Brown shakes his head, which usually means
that hurt.
He felt it.
Yeah.
Good body kick there. And a body kick return by Chris Brown. See, this is really where Thad Jean needs to keep him. He shouldn't allow him to get off.
Oh, big one.
Thad Jean
wobbled him.
Tried the leaping knee to finish it. Chris Brown grabs a hold of the trunk.
Plenty of time left for Thad Jean. Chris Brown is in trouble.
Big right hand coming down from the top. Jean has stepped off into side control. And now knee on belly. Slides all the way over to, no, Chris Brown works his way back to his feet.
Wow.
Offers a right hand after looking to be in serious trouble.
Man.
Good sharp jab from the southpaw stance by Thad Jean. Switches back to orthodox.
Another short right hand over the top there again.
Final few seconds of this very exciting round one. Second frame next. Curious to know what the conversation was like in the corner for Thad Jean. Big John McCarthy, how do you judge round number one in this wild affair?
I'll tell you, it was a wild fight. You're seeing Chris Brown throw a lot of oblique kicks, but a lot of things are off balance, and Thad Jean is doing a very good job of defending and blocking a lot of those. He had him hurt several times in that. You got to go at least 10-9 for Thad Jean.
Thad Jean slashed that kick into the lead leg of Brown, and Brown just switches to a square stance.
Wow.
Front kick to the face attempted there by Thad Jean.
That teep just grazed Brown's face, but looked to be right on the money with flush.
Thad's enjoying himself here. I think he likes the way that Chris Brown fights. He's like the guy that never shows up to technique class but's always there for sparring. The guy that no one wants to spar because you never know what he's going to crack you with. But he's going to catch you with something that you didn't see coming.
I feel attacked at this moment. Thad Jean stalking now. Ian Parker, the live odds, minus 1,600 in Thad Jean's favor, but Chris Brown still looks dangerous here.
Chris Brown looks, I don't know what he looks like. It's a very unorthodox style. He looks tired, but he's explosive. He's throwing different kicks while he's not even looking at Thad. I do think he's one punch away from getting knocked out, though. Look, Thad's got the power, but Chris Brown is tough. I still think Thad's going to get it done by TKO, KO at some point, but big ups to Chris Brown. This guy is staying in it with the crazy unorthodox style. It's tough.
Brown continues to attack with those oblique kicks, the stomping kicks to the lead leg of Thad Jean. And Randy, I think you can make an argument Thad Jean actually had more success in round one in this southpaw stance. I wonder if he'll stay here.
Yeah, interesting. He keeps switching back and forth, but he landed better shots from that southpaw stance. I haven't seen a style Rubik's Cube like Chris Brown since Lyoto Machida popped onto the scene.
Yeah.
Another back fist from Chris Brown.
Whoa! Spinning 360 kick. There was no space for it. This is like how I think I look in the gym compared to how I actually look in the gym.
Jab finally gets through for Thad Jean halfway through round two.
The thing is with Chris, he does look tired, and he may well be tired, but it's most likely that he trains and spars like this all the time. He thrives in this kind of tired, fatigue state that he's fighting in right now. I mean, he literally looks exactly like this all three rounds against Carlos Leal. He was up against the fence. He was far less aggressive, I would say. Oh, front shot.
It was interesting because he was in on a deep double and somehow caught the cup.
Now you see Chris Brown shaking his head, but it actually wasn't the referee who stopped that. Chris Brown knew that he made contact with the cup.
So here you can see, look,
the knee.
It was due to be a kick to the body, but Thad was too close to him, so the knee connected early and connected low. Now, if I'm Thad, I'm thinking I need to get back started this fight as quick as I can, because if Chris is indeed tired, I want to keep him in that state.
Absolutely.
Big John, remind us the protocol here for Thad Jean on the recovery process.
Anytime you have a groin that has been injured by an opponent, that fighter, Thad Jean, is the guy that's in control of time. He's the one that decided, I want to get this back, just like what Dan and everyone's talking about. He thinks he's got Chris Brown tired, so he's going after him again.
Brown just unleashed 3 kicks in a row, and now the back fist again. Thad Jean trying to lance that lead hook from the southpaw stance again.
Oh!
Off balance there for Thad Jean. Right hand from Chris Brown, but now attacks the calf.
Double up with the right hook.
Nice one, Chris.
if I'm Thad, I'm using more feints. I think it was in my keys to victory. Look, feint, get him to go first. Try and counter his movement after his attacks, because you can see he throws himself out of shape. You need to trigger him to get him to move first.
1 minute, Chris, 1 minute.
Hey, even when he's falling backwards, he attacks with the kick. Chris Brown just always switched on, looking to throw something at you.
Love it.
And attacking that lead leg again, stomping down on the lead knee of Thad Jean.
There's that head kick again. You know, weirdly, it reminds me in a very different sense. Carlos Condit, GSP. Do you remember when he kind of rolled his head and swung the kick over the top, caught GSP by surprise? You never know when that head kick's going to land. If you don't see it coming, it's going to catch you unawares.
Well, this chaos is really interesting because Chris Brown lives in it, is used to it. I think for Thad Jean, a lot of this off-balance stuff is frustrating. He's doing a great job of getting back to his good footwork, staying where he needs to stay, landing that right hand, now attacks the lead leg. This is a learning experience. His jab came through for Thad Jean.
Brown's hands are down at his waist. I mean, he's just slinging them from his waist.
Little wobble from Thad Jean, I think more fatigue related. We swing away to the end of round 2. He had the stoppage, short stoppage for the groin shot. We head into the third frame, and what do the scorecards look like, Big John?
Right now, I'm going to say the scorecard is going to be 20-18 for Thad Jean. Right now, he's landing the bigger, heavier shots. A lot of awkward stuff that is touching at times, but no real power on it from Chris Brown.
Brown falling forward, then falling backward, and as he does, attacks with the body kick. Spinning kick, push kick. That's a combination you don't see a lot in mixed martial arts, but Chris Brown just threw it in the first 30 seconds of round 3.
Brown's like a whirling dervish out there.
Yes.
Nice, Chris.
Hey.
Watch out with your head, okay?
You know, sometimes the best style for this unorthodox opponent is just a hard style Muay Thai where you don't give a great deal of ground. That was a beautiful check hook. That got Ian Parker's attention for sure.
Throws the feet of Chris Brown there momentarily, but recovered instantly.
Nice, Chris.
Sometimes that hard Muay Thai style is good at suppressing this kind of game. The problem that Thad's got is he's giving Chris Brown space to express a lot of these techniques. If you watch the way that Chris Brown's throwing, because he's quite unorthodox, because he throws himself off balance and his feet are coming off the canvas a lot of the time, he's not connecting with a great deal of power. That was a nice knee.
Beautifully timed, caught the foot, swung Chris Brown around and jumped right into the flying knee.
It's crazy. If you look at the total strikes, Thad Jean 118 and Chris Brown 196. I mean, the quality of the strikes is something very different, of course. That's a different conversation, but nearly 200 strikes landed by Chris Brown. Sorry, thrown.
Jean now chest to chest, but steps right out of it. Josh Silveira, one half of our main event later tonight, watching on, I imagine enjoying this welterweight showcase between Thad Jean and Chris Brown. And Chris Brown here in the third round catches the kick of Jean and lands a nasty left as Jean gets back to his feet.
What's really impressive about this from Thad Jean is that he's thrown 124 strikes, he's landed 65 on them. He's over 50% success rate with landing against an opponent that's very, very difficult to hit.
Oh, now around to the back, Thad Jean after the right hand.
Good wrist fighting, good hand fighting from Chris Brown. Casually just walks over to the fence.
Strolls away, spins around, back fist again. Check hook from Chris Brown. And another.
It's looking more and more like drunken kung fu the later we get into this third round.
Jackie Chan would love this.
Beautiful double by Thad. He hits his knees. That stifles his penetration. Nice inside knee by Chris Brown.
Gene now sneaking out the back door.
Can strike the head here. If Thad can get his foot to Chris Brown's head, there's no reason why he can't kick him in the face.
Or knee.
Or knee, absolutely.
There you go, Chris. That was nice. Nice. He doesn't want to stand. He's tired.
Coming up on 1 minute left in round number 3, and the volume continues to build on the striking totals. Both fighters wobbling with some fatigue here. Chris Brown with the aggression. Good left hand sneaks through for Brown. He leads so many of his combinations. He ate a right hand there, but he leads so many of his combinations by stomping onto the lead leg of Thad Gene, and that prevents any sort of power on Thad Gene's return shots. Body kick caught. Brown misses.
I wonder if this is the fight the Silverback Nation were expecting. This has been absolute chaos for 15 minutes. 30 seconds left. And still crashing forward is Chris Brown.
Pouring it on with the volume, and then he just strolls back with his arms down. Right hand landed.
Chris Brown could have stolen this round here. He's landing some really good shots.
I think it's... You can make that case quite easily, Dan Hardy.
Hey!
Look at this, more spinning. Spinning back kick, spinning back fist on the other side. Chris Brown, what a treat.
Wow.
That was so much fun.
Both fighters tired.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to your 3 judges at cage side for the decision. Your first judge, Michael Tate, sees it 30-27, while judges Alicio Rodriguez and Dorian Marsala see it 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision, Thad, the Silverback Gene.
Thad Gene with the victory. Silverback Nation with the pop in the crowd.
But it's okay, I dropped him. He touched me. But I was
Thad Gene having a conversation with the camera, and we'll see what he has to say with Dan Hardy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner for the Celsius post-fight interview. But first of all, make some noise for both of these guys, leaving it all in here. That was an incredible fight. Woo! You enjoyed that, my friend.
That was a great fight, honestly. I'm gonna get up for my opponent, Chris Brown. He doesn't like the results, but it's all right. We could do it again when he deserves it. But, Silverback Nation, baby, let's fucking go!
You've got an amazing support network here. You must have felt that in that last round when you were having to dig deep.
It's like, let's go. Last round, I was a little tired, a lot tired. But I realized I couldn't let my people down, my supporters, my fans, everyone here for me. Silverback Nation, baby, I appreciate everyone. I want to give a thanks to everyone who came up to support today. It's my 8th fight, my 8th victory. And Silverback Nation, they hear us, they see us, and they're going to keep feeling us. Let's go, baby.
Still undefeated, my friend. Last question. What's next for you? When do we get to see you fight again?
That's real quick. I was getting ahead of myself. All glory to God, who's given me this opportunity. Thank you to PFL. I want to thank my AHP family who's out here, my friends and family that are here, my high school friends. I love kickboxing, Pompano Beach. I want to thank everyone that came to support. Whoever's next is next. Understand that I'm only going to keep getting better. My opponent was super unorthodox, hard to read, but I dropped him. Again, got a little ahead of myself. I should have just paced it, finished him in the first round. But if I was in a tournament this year, I'd be a champion this year. So if I'm in a tournament next year, I am the PFL champion next year. And that's how I see it.
I'm excited to see that, my friend. Silverback Nation, make some noise for your winner, Thad Gene.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Francis Ngannou. Subscribe now to the PFL MMA YouTube channel.